Hey everybody, how's everybody doing today? I guess everyone this weekend has heard the controversial news, if that's what you want to call it, and that is that Ben Affleck is going to be playing Batman in the new Man of Steel Part 2, which will feature Batman in this particular film. And there was speculation as which actor was going to honor the role of Batman, and there was speculation from Arnie Hammer to Ryan Gosling to even Christian Bale. But Warner Bros. Officially announced on Friday that they have chosen their actor to play the iconic role, and that is Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck has decided to take on the responsibility of becoming the uh, newest person to play the iconic Batman in the comic book world. A lot of people don't know what to really think of this particular part, but he has announced it, and he says that he's proud and he's going to take the role seriously, and he's going to do the best he can do to stay loyal to the fans and hope that he delivers the performance needed. From what I've read along with the internet, and a lot of people are running to his defense. I've noticed that this week's Entertainment Weekly, Josh Whedon talked about his career, and then I noticed that he was on the internet talking about how he believes that Warner Brothers chose the right actor for the part of Batman. And there was a lot of celebrity defense, which was kind of weird because you don't see that a lot. I don't see a lot of people running to defend an actor this way. But for the most part, he did get a lot of help from his celebrity friends, and the celebrity, well, I don't know if they were friends, but a lot of people came to his defense, and they were like, the fans were a little too harsh on him because, there was so much speculation as to what was going to happen. And to be honest with you, you know, I don't really think it's about, who's going to play this role. I think it's more about, for me personally, I just hope they do a very good story. I mean, I'm not going to lie on all of you. I really felt, I mean, and this is just my personal opinion on it. I believe that Christian Bale will always be the definitive Batman. I believe that Christian Bale did not get an Oscar nomination for his portrayal on Bruce Wayne playing Batman because he did a phenomenal job. My particular favorite movie that he was in was Batman Begins. I always felt that Batman Begins was the greatest origin film on Batman I've ever seen in my life. And, I know that they're going to do reboots of Batman. They're going to have different actors play Batman. And something, sometimes you'd be surprised. A different actor can probably pull it off. I mean, I remember when I saw Batman Under the Red Hood, and everybody was like, well, Kevin Connolly's not doing it. And then they got Bruce Greenwood to do the film, and look what happened. I mean, he was a great voice for Batman. There are actors that are going to be able to play these parts, and people just have to understand that, we do move on, and Warner Brothers will continue to do movies on Batman with different actors and different directors. I mean, I'm not naive. I would expect that. But to be totally honest, I think that Warner Brothers offered the role to Christian Bale. Christian Bale probably wanted more money, and then Warner Brothers was like, look, this is a one-shot deal, because wasn't there a rumor that Warner Brothers offered Christian Bale to do this film for $50 million? And then I guess Bale thought, well, you know what? If Christopher Nolan's not involved in it, I'm not involved in it. And that's a lot of chunk of change. I mean, Bale will probably deny and say, there was no offer or anything like that. I do believe that Warner Brothers went to him and said, look, do this movie for $50 million. Let the fans be excited. You get your big cut of the money. We get our cut of the money. And booyah, everybody is happy at the end of the day. But I think that what happened was that once Bale started asking more money for the role, I think that Warner Bros. Was like, look, you know what? We gave you a big enough check. It's $50 million. You turned it down like the way Dave Chappelle did when he went to Africa. You kind of like, you're asking for too much and we're not going to give you too much. But for the most part, I think that Bale is loyal to Christopher Nolan, and I think that Christopher Nolan, from what I'm hearing, didn't have any decision in the producing of Man of Steel for this particular production, which was weird because I didn't know any of this. But this is David Goyer and Zack Snyder working together to create another sequel, and I don't think Nolan is going to be in this production. A lot of people are saying, and when I say a lot of people, I've heard like different opinions about this. Some people felt that, maybe Nolan walked because, he didn't want to do it no one day, and he was working on his own movie career and, his own directing and doing his own projects. That was one story I heard. Another story I heard about this was that Christopher Nolan basically wasn't happy with the decision that Ben Affleck was going to be Batman. I think, to be totally honest, that Bale was loyal to Christopher Nolan, and that's what I personally think happened. I mean, I don't know officially what happened, but that's what I think happened. I think that Warner Brothers went to Christian Bale. Christian Bale wanted too much money. They figure, and when I say they, Warner Brothers probably figured, well, hey, why should we hire this guy for what, $50 million when we can probably get a cheap actor for 20, maybe 10, depending on the actor. I mean, they do this all the time. People in the comic book world, and I'm talking about the fan base, you all have to understand that we all get disappointed and we all go into a confusion when they pick another actor. I mean, that happens all the time, especially when you have an actor that was so good in the part. You tend to think, well, you know what? No one can ever replace Batman after we saw the performance of Christian Bale. I mean, that's how I felt. I felt that when Christian Bale took on the role, he made Batman the way Batman was supposed to be. He gave it some dignity. And I respect that. I mean, he really put effort into this character. He gave it depth, and he made sure that Batman wasn't some pussy. I mean, I like that Bale made Batman realistic. Then all of a sudden, the problem with this is that when money comes involved, egos come involved, because I'm sure Christian Bale talks shit, because from what I hear, Christian Bale is all about money. He figured, look, 50 million is an insult, give me 80 and then we'll talk. And I'm telling he negotiates deals, I think, the way Tom Cruise would. I remember when Tom Cruise was offered the part of Neo of the Matrix films, he wanted so much money out of this. He figured, the producers were like, are you fucking kidding me? There's no way we're giving you this type of salary. And Warner Brothers probably said, you gotta be kidding me too. We're not giving you that kind of money. Sorry, we'll get somebody else. But it's interesting to find out, that Ben Affleck, he's a very good actor. He's a very good director. I mean, my personal opinion on him is very quite simple. I'm not shitting on him. He is a very good actor. I mean, I've seen him in the Boiler Room, and he can act. Just, I think the problem is that when you're playing superhero roles, it's it's funny with the fans. Comic book fans want to see an actor they could say, you know what, we're confident in. I think that is the problem. People are losing confidence because they look at Ben Affleck and they see, okay, when we look at him, we see Daredevil. When we look at him, that's what I keep hearing. Everybody says, well, it's all about Daredevil, and it was Daredevil, and Daredevil sucked, and it didn't work. I thought Daredevil was good too, but I still felt, and I guess because I got so used to Christian Bale doing such a great job on it, Bale will always be the definitive Batman. I mean, I'm sure that people will say, well, I thought Michael Keaton or Val Kilmer or even George Clooney. I mean, that's a joke too, but but look at those actors, and they've done great jobs in playing Batman. But Christian Bale is the greatest one of all, and I think anyone who could bring that performance to true meaning of the word dignity, I respect that. But a lot of people in the media and the court of public opinion are yelling and screaming about, oh my God, this is a slap in the face, and I can't believe that they chose Ben Affleck. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and bash Ben Affleck and call him, well, he sucks and he's an alcohol. I'm not gonna say all that. I just honestly feel that Ben Affleck, you're on top of your game. You have an Oscar for Argo. I don't know what your decision was in taking this part. Maybe you felt like, what, well, I can do it, and, just give me a chance. I mean, if they're, he is a little older, so I don't know if they're going to go with a seasoned Batman who's been in the game, or they're going to do, a young Batman and then build on that. I don't really know how they're going to do this, but for the most part, I don't think we're going with a Justice League film, that's for sure. But something, at the same time, I said to myself, the other day, me and my wife were talking about it. She was like, good actor, but I don't think he's the right choice. I mean, I felt that they should have went with an unknown, or if you're not going to get Christian Bale, I would have paid Christian Bale what he wanted. But I think that Bale was very loyal to Christopher Nolan. I think he felt like if Nolan's not involved in the production and not involved with the realism of bringing Batman to life, then I'm not going to be involved in it. I'm not going to be involved in the picture. And, Bale is loyal to Nolan like that. Maybe Bale feels that, what, maybe one day if Nolan does another Batman flick, I hope he'll I hope he picks him to do it again, which he's probably thinking. And you know what it is? $50 million was a lot of money. I mean, nobody's talking about the salary that was offered to Christian Bale. Some say that was rumored, but I honestly believe that money was offered. But Bale will probably say, well, that's not true, but whatever. I mean, this is a very, it's not disappointing. It was kind of shocking in a way. My brother and I were talking this morning, and he was like, I can't believe they picked him. He had the same reaction that a lot of people on YouTube are screaming about, where people are saying, oh my God, Ben Affleck, I can't believe they picked him. I can't believe that he's the one they chose. And to be honest with you, for me, I think that, if that's the way Warner Brothers is going to go with, I'll put it to you this way. For me, I'm going to go bootleg it. I mean, I'm not going to rush to go see a movie. I mean, I don't rush to go see movies like that anyway, because, movies are very expensive. But I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, definitely J.J. Abrams has got a better, shot in making, if this had to be a race against the movies, J.J. Abrams obviously looks like he's going to probably make the better movie with Star Trek. A lot of people felt like, well, Batman is going to, Batman Superman movie is going to destroy all movies. Well, I mean, after this, I mean, and we might be shocked. I mean, a lot of people, are so critical. I mean, I remember when they picked Christian Bale for American Psycho, and I was like, who the fuck is this Christian Bale dude? I remember when Leonardo DiCaprio was coming out of doing Titanic, and everybody was saying, well, the role should go to Leonardo DiCaprio. Even Bret Easton Ellis thought that. And then this unknown actor at the time, well, he had done a few films, his name was Christian Bale, and nobody had even heard of him. I was like, who the hell is this guy? And then all of a sudden, when I saw the movie American Psycho, I thought, something, whoever he is, he's a damn good actor. He really made Patrick Bateman a believable character. And, we have to, this way, I know that a lot of people say that Ben Affleck plays himself and, it's not believable. But I'm not going to lie on you. There, sometimes with movie actors, you never know. I mean, that dude can probably pull it off. And we all probably say, well, you know what? We all were so busy counting on Christian Bale. Now we got a new actor. Let's see what he can do. But I don't know. I don't think he's going to be able to pull this off. And I guess without the production of Christopher Nolan, and, he's not going to be involved in it, and Legendary Pictures is not involved in it. And I guess Christian Bale felt like, well, he's not in it, and Legendary Pictures not in it, but, I'm not going to be in it. So I guess, in conclusion, because you can go on with this all day, like I said, Ben Affleck is a very good director. He's a very good actor. I mean, a lot of people talk about, well, he's not going to be fit for Batman. Hey, I say give it a chance. I think that Warner Brothers should have held out until a trailer. That would have been nice to see how he does in the film. He is, he can direct a movie. I mean, a lot of people probably think, well, he could direct his own production. He went home with an Oscar, so I mean, it's not like they picked some shitty actor off a porno film. They just basically are saying that they picked a director who probably will most likely give directing tips while Zachary Snyder's directing. It's just it's going to be a different feel for Batman. And Bale has done his trilogy. He's done his three pictures, and he was loyal to Nolan. And a lot of people have to start moving on. I say give it a chance. I mean, if it does suck, which it probably most likely it will be since Bale's not in it, but I say give it a chance. I mean, we might be surprised. Everybody started yelling and screaming about Mark Ruffalo. Look at him. He's gonna suck as the Hulk, and then he became the best part of the whole movie. So you got to be careful with the criticism. I mean, I understand why people are upset. People don't want to accept the fact that, oh my God, they picked an actor who's just not fit for Batman. But I don't know, he probably could do it. Maybe he will play a better Bruce Wayne than Christian Bale, which I seriously doubt that one too. But maybe they're looking for him more for Bruce Wayne, and maybe they'll cover the mask space when they do the Batman and put a stuntman in that. Maybe that could work too. But whatever the case might be, just give it a chance. I mean, I know that a lot of people are upset and people are yelling and screaming and they're hollering, and some people say, oh my God, no, and what the fuck are they doing? But like I said, we give it a chance, and Bale might Bale might come back. And sometimes when the pressure of having an actor in the film, they might fire him. I don't know if there's a contract involved in this, but Warner Brothers could say, look, you know what, maybe we don't want to use you because the fans are so pissed off that we chose you. Maybe we'll have to go with a different actor. And that can happen too. But for the most part, I like to ask all of you, because I know it's come to an end with, I'm going to come to an end on this, but I said to myself, for the final opinion that I have on this is very quite simple. Movies are very interesting because, I with all the choices, sometimes with movies, you can have a great movie and with a great actor, and and might surprise you, and then you can have a great movie but with a bad actor and just was a bad choice, and then the movie ends up being bad because this actor didn't make it work. We all know that Ben Affleck can act. We all know he won Oscars. We all know that he built up his career. He has dough, so it's not like he's broke. He has millions of dollars in the bank. I just say, what? Just give it a chance. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I'm not saying anything else but give it a chance. And if you don't give it a chance and you feel like, I'm not going to see it, that's your opinion. I say see it on bootleg, give it a chance on that. And if it looks good and they pulled it off, because remember, they got a great writer, David Goyer, just, tell yourself, let me calm down. I've heard the news, and let me not go and destroy everything and talk about how shitty the movie is. Give it a chance, is all I said. Wait till the trailer comes out, because I always base everything on the trailer first. If the trailer looks good and looks like this is going to be interesting, I'm there. But first, I'm going to see it on bootleg first. And if it's worth seeing it in the theaters, then I might check it out in the theater. But for the most part, wait to see what happens, and wait till the final production is done, and then we can finally all judge when we go see it in the theater. So, give me your opinions on what you all felt about this decision of Warner Brothers of picking Ben Affleck. As we all know, I'm sure we're going to hear a lot of negativity. But be honest with me on this question. Do you feel that actors like Ben Affleck can honestly pull it off? Is the question I want to ask you. Because remember, I gave you a couple examples, like with Christian Bale and Mark Ruffalo. Can we honestly give Ben Affleck a chance and make the iconic performance work? Or is this truly such a bad decision that Nolan walked and Christian Bale didn't want to be involved and Warner Brothers is just making another bad decision? Do you think this is going to be the worst film of 2015? So hit me up with your comments. Tell me what you think. I hope that all you have a great last week of August. And as you all know, school is coming right around the corner, so get your school books ready and get your pencils ready. But you all take yourself, enjoy the last week of summer, especially in August. Take care, God bless you, and remember, use your mind. It's your best weapon.